Lovelies. I think I'm live. I'm not certain. Everything seems a bit strange today on Facebook. But working on the assumption, because I like making assumptions about things that I want, I'm working on the assumption that I am actually live. So welcome. Welcome to another Live Purposefully Now live, as I say, hopefully. And today's broadcast is about creating a new reality. And I just want to say a little about myself before I begin. For those who don't know me, I'm Elle Summer. I am the creator, the founder of Live Purposefully Now, a website that is designed to encourage and support and inspire anyone who wishes to live the best life possible and be the greatest them possible. And this clearly is my Facebook page of the same name. And I welcome you. And I just want to say hello before I begin about my perspective on creating a new reality, just to say hello to those who are here. We have Jenny White. Jenny White is a member of the Live Purposefully Now team. Wonderful, wonderful, the sweetest woman that you could ever meet. I love Jenny to pieces. She has a great Facebook page of her own, which I hope that she will put a link up for you, because I'm terrible at remembering names. So we have RM Alexander, love RM, hey to you. Jennifer Croney-Williams, hello. And that's it. We're a bit thin on the ground today. I have not been doing Facebook Live on a wonderful day, which was absolutely fantastic. And then we had family come to stay. And so I've just been doing fun family things for now. But anyway, here I am back and talking about creating a new reality. So the first thing I wanted to say about that is that we are making agreements with reality all the time. Things that we'll do, things that we won't do, who we think we are, who we think we're not, what's acceptable, what we'll put up with, what we won't put up with, and all these agreements, they're making up our reality. So does that make sense? Is that clear what I'm trying to say here? If it is, maybe you just type yes in the comments. I know that they sometimes take a while to come through, but I just want to make sure that what I'm saying is making sense, because I think that this is really important for us all to get, that we have agreements with reality already set up. So if anybody has a yes, which I can't see, so I'm just going to assume that, RM Alexander, yes, you get what I'm saying, good. So here we are, we're making all these agreements with reality that actually make up our physical reality. But the challenge is that our physical reality isn't always the way we like it to be, right? So what can we do? Well, we have to change these agreements that we've set up with reality. And very often these agreements are agreements that we don't even know we made. We certainly didn't do them deliberately or consciously, because we wouldn't have chosen some of the things that we experience in our realities. So where to begin? So we begin by challenging that conventional wisdom that we've already set up. Think about Copernicus, if you remember anything about Copernicus. Well, he challenged the wisdom of the ages, that the sun revolved around the earth. And that was a pretty big challenge in his day and age. But fortunately for us, we don't need to make such a huge challenge to our current reality to make it tons better. There's some questions that would be good to ask yourself. And the first one is, what do I want? I have that. I'll show you what I have. See this? I hope you can see it. What do I want? This is what I have taped over my my camera, because I just don't want the camera on me all the time. And I have that up there. What do I want? So I'm always, when I'm sitting in front of my computer, I'm reminded to ask myself when something is happening online, what do I want? Another great question is, what's missing in my life? And then what would make it 100 times better? No, never mind 100. What would make it 1,000 times better? And one of the first shifts that you may have to make is to access your imagination more often, to solve problems and to perceive life in an entirely new way. And that's another great question that I have for you. So how often and to what extent do you access your imagination for the things that you want in your life? Okay, be honest. You can tell us how often and how much, basically. Because probably, like so many of us, you grew up being told things that didn't do much to help you be clear that your imagination is a creative power within you. You probably heard things like waste of time, imagination or daydreaming are for kids only, or one that I heard, you can't imagine your way into getting what you want. I still hear that, and now these days I laugh because I know it's so not true because of my own experiences. Or you might even have told yourself, hey, I've got no imagination. And that is so not true. We're all gifted with the power of imagination. It's just that we don't all access it in the right way. Think of some of the greats in our world. They have understood and accessed the power of their imagination and brought forth great things for the planet and for humanity, for you and me, that we now enjoy. But we often use our imagination to focus on what's wrong or what could go wrong and all the other things in life that we honestly don't want to see more of. And yet we continually use that creative power of imagination to conjure up more of the same. Ouch. If anybody was looking at us from another planet, they might well wonder, how come that we weren't using this incredible gift of creative imagination to focus on the ideal life that we wanted to live? That would be a great question. Sometimes I will confess I ask myself that question because, like all of us, I can get off track too. So here you are, you've started questioning your current reality and how you got to where you are and how you stay there. And the next thing to do is to grab your freedom. Every one of us has the freedom to choose for themselves the thoughts which will in turn create their reality. And there's great fairness in the complete freedom to determine the quality of your life. It's so true. No one is given a greater or better ability to do this than another. So if you want to change your circumstances, do you? Do you really want to change your circumstances? Well, what we have to do is we have to develop the necessary consciousness of the circumstances that we want to experience. And we do this through the use of our imagination. In other words, you have to become the one who has what they want or who is who they want to be in your mind's eye, mentally, in your imagination. Think of it this way. A successful person has a success consciousness. A wealthy person has developed a prosperity consciousness, and his thoughts are likely on abundance, success, and prosperity. This is how he generally thinks. And okay, you might say, oh, easy for him. Heck, if you're successful, it's easy to think success. And if you're wealthy, it's easy to think prosperity. But me, my situation is entirely different. I'm not successful. I'm not wealthy, or at least not as much as I'd like to be. And the problem is, for me, is the current situations and circumstances of my life keep me down. And I'm going to say to you, my darlings, you are dead wrong if you think that. Your circumstances and conditions never keep you down. The only things that keep us down and that keep us stuck are the thoughts that we consistently think and the beliefs that we consistently hold. And with work and practice, you can learn to direct your thoughts and create any consciousness that you choose. really, you can do this. And then everything else automatically falls into place. It's a brilliant system. I love this stuff. I know that you've heard this before, that our mind is a garden to be cultivated or neglected, and that we are the master gardener. But it's so true, and it's such a great analogy, because you can cultivate your garden or you can ignore it and let it develop whatever way it will. And I will say here, if you did that in Florida, it would develop into a wilderness in a week flat, probably. But make no mistake, we all reap the harvest of our work or our neglect. So, my lovelies, I'm going to suggest to you that you let your mind play. Fantasize a much better form of life than you presently enjoy. Really, try it. You'll like it. It's fun. Create your future with imagination. Determine what would be ideal for you with awareness of what that would be. Just make sure that it's ideal for you. It's not what somebody else thinks should be ideal for you. It's just for you. And then once you have created that picture in your mind, repeat it often. And after that, when you're in that place, then you can begin to challenge your beliefs. Because those beliefs that we have, one of the big problems with them is that we've had them so long that we don't even know they're there anymore. And they control our future. If you believe you have to be constantly expanding and growing to be successful, to be happy, then that will be your companion for life. If you believe that you can do that, you can be that, you are that, that is what you will experience. I mean, really, it's not hard, is it? If you believe that everything is hard and everyone else has a better life than you, I don't have to tell you the rest, do I? You know what follows from that. So I just a little brief story about one of my friends some years ago. She used to blunder through life with a boatload of failed relationships behind her. She had this belief that bad boys were the most attractive of all. And the challenge with that was, at this time in her life, that wasn't in alignment with what she wanted, which was a settled home and a family life. Because she was operating from some old beliefs about relationships not working out for her. And so she actually took a pause. And she began to look over her past, and she could see the countless times when a different belief would have given her a different life, would have given her a different relationship. So she created some new beliefs by the use of affirmations. I'm a big believer in affirmations or mantras, call them what you will, as reminders to ourselves. And one of the things that she said was, I'm letting go of the past and focusing on my ideal future. And I no longer believe that bad boys are more fun. And she imagined that ideal relationship for her. She had this picture in her mind of what it looked like, as best she could at the time, because we can only do what we can from where we are. And yes, there is a happy ending to this story. Here she is today, lo these few years later, in this relationship, in this wonderful experience that she wanted, but those old beliefs held her back. Those old beliefs were powerful, and she was really not aware of them. And so she had to intervene, if you like. But has anybody experienced things like that? Not necessarily with relationships, but with anything in life where you recognize that beliefs are just not working for you. Or you're beginning to be aware of the things that these beliefs are giving you. I'd love to hear from you whether you've experienced this in your life. But as I say, all the comments are coming through slowly, so I'm just going to keep going. We'll be able to talk some more about it. So the last thing I want to talk about in terms of creating a new reality is review and rewrite. And yes, I have talked about this before, probably more than once, but it's such an important piece of changing your agreement with reality that it's worth repeating. And all these ideas, repeat them, write them down, repeat them to yourself as often as possible, because that's how we change our consciousness. The thing about our consciousness is, and the thing that things that happen to us is, it's our subconscious that is actually the manifester, if you like. And all those beliefs and all those stories that we've told ourselves, they sit in our subconscious unless we put something in there that is different, unless we plant a different seed. So repeat these ideas to yourself, because repetition keeps you in the energy of the things that you want. I mean, repetition can keep you in the energy of things that you don't want, as we know. So here we go with it, review and rewrite. And this is a form of intervention, because what this does is it changes the energy of your past experiences. No, it's not going to change the experiences themselves. They happened. However, if the energy from your past isn't reconstructed and isn't transformed into something different, it just simply advances into your future. And then it shows up over and over again, which is why we have so many similar experiences and meet the same kinds of people, and why my friend kept being involved with so-called bad boys. And that's not acceptable for you, dear ones. You are designed for greatness. You really, really are. And you are designed to live an amazing life. And this simple technique of review and rewrite can help you make that happen. So each evening, review your day. Don't judge it, just review it, just look it over. Look at the events, look at the circumstances, or the conversations or meetings that you had. And any that don't feel good, that don't conform to the way that you wish things had gone, change them. Change them using that powerful imagination of yours. See something different. Day, scene by scene. And those scenes that don't please you or don't feel good, rewrite them in your imagination. And when I say rewrite, I actually mean reform. So you create new pictures of them and make those pictures conform to the ideal experience that you wish you'd had, you know, the one that makes you feel so good. And do it over and over in your imagination until these seemingly imaginal experiences take on a feeling of reality, until it sort of feels real. For example, say you had an argument with someone earlier in the day and you still feel hurt and you still feel angry or upset. You can review that, revise that, rewrite that by imagining something different. Maybe you could imagine that you had a discussion with that person. You see yourselves having that discussion where you might not have agreed, but you both pleasantly agreed to disagree. That feels so much better. And it doesn't mean, as I say, that you're changing the actual experience, but you're changing the energy of the experience. You are reconstructing your past with new energetic content, which moves into your future and assists your life to move into that new future, to create that new reality. I mean, once again, really, aren't these things brilliant? And all we have to do is apply them, because these rewritten days truly will change your tomorrows. And I would say, if only we had been taught that most of the stresses and conflicts of the day were all for the want of a little imagination and right thinking, we would be well on the way to that dream life. Because, my lovelies, your imaginal growth, your development, will determine what the future holds for you. So go to your imagination and build a beautiful picture of where you want to find yourself. Maybe a year from today, maybe a month from today, maybe tomorrow, doesn't really matter. Because what will happen is, as you do that, the universe, which always conspires to bring us what we seem to be asking for, will come to your aid, bringing new people, new ideas, new opportunities to lay before you. And remember, I say what we seem to be asking for, because very often we're asking for things, at least as the way that the universal energy perceives it, that we don't want. And you know why? Because that's what we're telling ourselves. That's the conversations that we have. They're the thoughts that we have. And I'm going to say, when these new people, new ideas, new opportunities are laid before you, no matter how scary it might feel, please say yes and thank you. for these chances to create a new reality. You know, it's like when a new path opens up, we should follow it. We shouldn't just sit there. And so that's it, really. A brief recap on creating a new reality is: one, challenge conventional wisdom that you're currently experiencing and ask yourself some searching questions about where you are and if you're currently where you want to be. And two, grab your freedom of choice. We've been given this amazing freedom to choose the thoughts we think. It's as though we're unaware. It's as if our thoughts just come out of nowhere. And sometimes our mind is a great trickster, it's true, but you can ignore it and choose what you want to think. Tell your mind, this is where you're going. This is what you're thinking. Get your mind in line. You are in charge. It is not in charge. Get your mind to focus on what's good for you. And three, take a long, hard look at your beliefs from the perspective that the things that you believe about yourself and the things that you believe about others, and the things that you believe about your experiences are easily put on a relentless, unremitting loop, recycling the same old things and the people over and over and over. So let's recycle really super cool beliefs about who we are and how our life is. And lastly, review and rewrite your day to align with what you wish had happened, what you'd rather have felt, and send those new energies to create your new reality, your greater future. You can do this. I know you can do this. And really, it doesn't take long. It's not hard. And you deserve it. I think you deserve it. And that's it for today, my lovelies. And if you enjoyed this broadcast, please take a minute and share it with others who could use a little hope and encouragement in their life, because I know that's who you are. You are a hope bringer and an encourager. And share with those who you know would benefit from getting out in front of their current reality into a new, happier one. And if you want more inspiration, visit my webpage, livepurposelynow.com. And the only thing I have to say is, may your week ahead be filled with blessings. And if you'd like little reminders for your day, keep your eye on my Facebook page, because every now and then I do pop in to share a little reminder just to keep us on track. That's how I keep myself on track. And I wish that it does the same for you. So I'm just going to say hello and to anybody who's here and answer any questions if we have any. Who haven't I said hello to? Uma, hello to you. Jackie Davids, Sabrina Singh, hey. Shura, oh my gosh, there's some beautiful names here. Fozia says she makes things happen daily. That's great. I'm all in favor. RM Alexander, I do daydream about my life. Good. Add some feelings in there. Make it real. Because the more senses that you can put into any picture that you create in your mind, the quicker it actually becomes a reality. Naza, or Naz, hello. Heather, hello to you. Debbie John Bloom, hey. Marie Ann, hey to you. Sarah Heisey, Catherine O'Driscoll, hello, and welcome to everybody names I've never seen before. It's lovely to have you here. Monina, Stephanie Garcia, Deborah, coffee break. Good for you. I think it's about lunch break for me. Mohammed Nassim, hello to you. Zianus, these names are awesome. I wish I could pronounce them properly. Samina, Manina says, I truly believe that the power of imagination. Good. See, that's a great belief to have. Begin to believe. I believe in the power of imagination. And guess what happens? Imagination becomes a greater power for you. I mean, see how simple it is? It's really, really cool. Cheryl had to leave. RM, subconscious, is running the show. No kidding. That's why we have to plant into that subconscious mind of ours as many beautiful things that we can think of. Who else? Tiffany, hey, Tiffany Reed, hey to you. And Tina, rewrite, reform. Yes, Honestly, and that's a simple one to do. I mean, that doesn't take you more than a couple of minutes at the end of every day. You can even do it before you go to sleep, which is pretty cool. Let's see. Change the energy of the memory. Absolutely, RM. Energy is everything, says Cheryl, and everything is energy. It totally is. We're all made of the same substance. And that's what we want. We want to form and mold that substance into the life that we want to lead. And we get to do that. How cool is that? Nobody else gets to do it unless we let them. We get to do that. You get to do that. And that's it. I think that's everybody that I can say hello to. And I'm so grateful that you came along. It's lovely to have you. And I am now going to love you and leave you until next time. With a bit of luck, it will be next Monday. Meantime, do have a blessed day. Bye for now.